Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Very good morning to Dr. Ahmed Al Yusuf and all the students. It is my real pleasure interacting with you through this lecture. This lecture, the topic is like this: coastal space of Kuwait, some of the basics, some of the problems, and developments with respect to fluid mechanics point of view. Since you are learning fluid mechanics, how fluid mechanics knowledge will be useful for the development of the coastal and ocean space in Kuwait. Means development of new infrastructure like port, harbor, marina, offshore drilling platform, coastal erosion protection. All these things are required for Kuwait. So the basic knowledge of fluid mechanics, how you can use them after your graduation, when you work for the country, you have to use these knowledges for cost-effective, technically superior infrastructures. So you have to contribute. So this particular lecture is focused to give you enough basic knowledge with reference to this point. The content of the presentation is like this. This complete presentation have about 100 slides. So today we will cover 50 slides, and another day we will cover 50 slides, coming Sunday. So totally 100 slides. You will know these items in this presentation. First of all, we are living in Arabian Peninsula. So we have to know a little bit about the environment, particularly the ocean, marine environment, because we all live closer to the coast. So we have to know what is the marine environment and the activities we do. Second is we have to also know what is the challenge we are facing from the nature with respect to coastal activities, and what is the challenge by human being. Anthropogenic means a human being. What type of problems by human being we have to know. Then we will focus on Kuwait marine environment. I will also tell you what is the plan of government of Kuwait in development of the marine space in Kuwait. Then we will conclude. Why, first of all, why fluid mechanics for civil engineer? See, fluid mechanics means it's basically it's a physical property when it is stationary or when it is moving. Fluid has mass. When it moves, it has momentum and energy. So we have to understand these basics for 3 to 4 civil engineering applications. For example, in Kuwait, we don't have lake or river. So that way, fluid mechanics, we don't use it for these two areas. But we have water in the Arabian Gulf, and also we have water in the ground in some of the areas in the northern part of Kuwait. Groundwater you have, and they are moving from one place to another place. When you have rain, the water enter into the ground So when the water is moving from one to another place, we have to know its dynamics. Similarly, when you come to the coast, Kuwait have about 500-kilometer coast. Lot of civil engineering structures are in the coast. You know that. Also, Kuwait is planning for offshore drilling activity in the future. So all these items are surrounded by water, sea water, and the sea water contains salt, and it is not stationary. It moves from one place to another place, and the sea contains waves. They have energy, momentum, and they act on different civil engineering structure. When it is acting, it will give force on the structures. So as a civil engineer, you have to design these structures to withstand the forces and moment due to the dynamics of water. For all these things, you need a strong background of fluid mechanics if you wanted to apply your knowledge. Third, Kuwait, see, the desalination is done at few places on the coastal area. The fresh water we get from desalination of seawater. From that area, like Sabiya, Azur, the water has to come to our house. How it comes? It comes through pipeline. So we have to design these pipelines because water is flowing from generation point to utility point is our house and industry. So as an engineer, civil engineer, we have to design all these pipelines. So designing this pipeline needs a thorough understanding of fluid mechanics. When fluid is flowing in this pipeline, what will happen? It loses its energy when you are trying to pump the fluid. It will lose its energy. It will not move that easily because of the friction inside the pipe. So as an engineer, you need to know what is the power of pump you have to use to push the pipeline from the desalination point to the storage tank. So for all these things, basic knowledge of fluid mechanics is required. Okay, so this is a basic background why you have to learn fluid mechanics. And now my focus here, how the knowledge of fluid mechanics you use for coastal civil engineering structures. Reason is Kuwait, we all live closer to coast, and we all love to have our home closer to coast, and we like to go into the beach, we like to go into the sea for entertainment, swimming, fishing, snorkeling. Also, we wanted to develop aquaculture using the sea to grow more fish. All these things are structures. You need structures. So for that, you have to have thorough knowledge of fluid mechanics. Now you see what is this? This is the globe without water. We are here. Kuwait is here. This is Arabian Peninsula, Arabian Gulf. This is Arabian Gulf. When you come out, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, India. So they are all connected by water. All these countries are surrounded by water. And the water have lot of energy. whenever the water have lot of energy, now water is a fluid energy, it has its positive impact as well as negative impact. Similar to human being, when we have a lot of energy, we can make either positive impact in our life or negative impact in our life. So same thing applicable to nature. What is the positive impact of the seawater? Seawater, if we talk about Kuwait, we use it for desalination, for cooling of power plant, for aquaculture. Also seawater, many countries they use to extract salt, the salt we eat in our home. Also a lot of chemicals from seawater needed for industry. And seawater is moving from one place to another place. So if you go closer to the Arabian Peninsula, we have to know who is our neighbor and what type of coastal activity they do, which may affect the coastal activity in Kuwait, because the water here is not like a pond. So this water here is moving all the way from here, water enters and moves. So anybody is doing, for example, a nuclear power plant here in Iran, if there is a leakage of any radioactive material here in Iran, because of the movement, it may come to Kuwait. So that is the fluid mechanics. Fluid is moving. So then we have to understand how long this waste material disposed here will reach Kuwait. If we know that, we can take action in advance. The whole Arabian Peninsula at night, it looks like this. So you can see Kuwait at night full of light everywhere. Similar, same thing you observe in all other countries, in UAE, Oman, all the way, Qatar, Bahrain, all flooded with light. And then you see these areas, not many people are there. Why I am showing this picture? Inside the Arabian Peninsula, Arabian Gulf, population is very, very thick on the coast. That is why the more lights here. Highly populated, high density population is in the coast around Arabian Gulf compared to the desert area. Only here in Saudi Arabia, they have developed infrastructure where a lot of people are living inside the desert area. And similarly here in the Red Sea area, even here you can see most of the people, they live on the coast. So this picture, in daytime, we cannot recognize that population density is very high in the coast. Many people living in this part of the world, we love to have our home inside the sea. That means surrounded by fluid. So that is a strong justification. We need to learn fluid mechanics and fluid dynamics to design civil engineering structure cost effectively with less environmental impact and with good quality. So the fundamental is fluid mechanics. Another view of the Arabian Gulf. Here Arabian Gulf, we are almost like very flat compared to the other side. Iranian side, you can see a lot of hilly terrain. Only in Oman you have hilly terrain. Otherwise this side, Yemen, we have hilly terrain. But within Kuwait, these areas, they are all relatively flat. So this is a type of topography. inside the Gulf, I wanted to tell you a little bit of the history of the Arabian Gulf. What you see here, I like to show you this. You see this, the right hand side plot. The x-axis is years. Zero year, 2000 year, 4000, 6000, 8000, 10,000 years back from now. And what is the sea water level? Right now, we are living here. Sea water level is here. Sea water level was down like this. So last many thousands of years, sea water was rising slowly like this because of melting of ice. And only last 10,000 years, the seawater rise was very slow. Before that, it was very sharp rise of seawater. The Arabian Gulf, you see this line is like 10-meter water depth. This line is 20-meter water depth. So this line indicates the water depth now. Okay, so this line indicates, say, 40-meter water depth, like that. So if we go 9,000 years back, seawater was almost 35 meter below the present level, 35 meter. So during those days, the seawater was like this, or like this. It was like this. So last many people, that means many people were living in those days. They were living inside the Arabian Gulf, and slowly seawater was rising, water was filling, and right now this is the seawater line. Otherwise, in good olden days, the seawater line was like this for many years. It was like this for many years. That means the people, lot of people were living into the sea in good olden days. To tell you a simple truth, the Adam and Eva, they were living here, somewhere here, many thousands of years back. I will come back to that again. Inside the Arabian Gulf, this water is highly saline water. Okay, number one. And the water depth here is very, very shallow, meaning the highest water depth inside the Arabian Gulf is about 100 meters somewhere here. Otherwise, if you talk about Kuwait boundary, you go to the boundary of Kuwaiti territorial water, which is 12 nautical mile. 12 nautical mile is about 21 kilometers from the coast, Kuwaiti coast. If you go 21 kilometers, you see water depth of about 30 meters. Okay, very shallow here. And when you come here, if you go by a ship from Kuwait, it's all shallow here. When you come here, then you will see water depth increasing drastically, deep increase. Here, water depth is order of kilometer, thousands of meters here. This is what I was trying to tell you. 8 to 9,000 years back, 8 to 9,000 years back, the whole Arabian Peninsula was having so many good rivers. These are all rivers in good olden days, full of rivers here. We can easily prove Kuwait also had a lot of river in those days by doing a proper carbon dating. So it is proved. Lot of rivers were there in Arabian Peninsula like this. And in those days, 9,000 years back, see the water, river water, for example, from Kuwait, they were all going inside. These are all river. And this is the freshwater lake, big freshwater lake in those days. So if you have a good freshwater lake, lot of people live around that lake. So this is what the place, the Adam and Eve, they lived here. This is what the history says. Nowadays, now the water is touching this line. We don't have rainfall, much rainfall. This color indicates the intensity of rain. See, most of the places in Arabian Gulf, like this color is about 1 to 100 millimeter rainfall, whereas this color indicates about 200 to 300 millimeter rainfall. In Kuwait, we have rainfall from 100 to 200 millimeter. We call it as arid zone. This is what the present day. So if you compare the good olden day is like this. Everywhere it was a river 9,000 years back. So imagine if we have river now, so the fluid mechanics knowledge is useful for building infrastructures in rivers and all. So now rivers are not there, but then only river available in this region, big river, is Tigris Euphrates, all the way here. Tigris Euphrates, still that is a river existing, and some river flowing from Iran. Now I will try to tell you comparison of some of the physical features of ocean with Arabian Gulf and Kuwaiti territorial water. The whole ocean around the world is 361 million square kilometer area. That is the area of the ocean. If you compare that with the Arabian Gulf, whole Arabian Gulf is 226,000. Kuwait, we have area, ocean area, 7,611 square kilometer. This is the area owned by Kuwait. Like a land area, this is the area we own. Within this area, we have 115 cubic kilometer of water. Average depth is 15 meter. Compared to this, we have 8% of this as volume of crude oil in Kuwait, 7 to 8%, lying under land area and sea area. So this is an important number. Okay, this is a sea water. Kuwait owns this much of cubic kilometer we own in Kuwait. In Kuwait or in Arabian Gulf, the average, how much of water comes from rain is 34 kilometer cube. Average water goes into the Arabian Gulf by river from Iraq and Iran, another 37 kilometer cube. But how much water evaporates from Arabian Gulf is so huge. 326 kilometer cube of water goes back. Water coming in to the Arabian Gulf is so small, but water going, evaporation is so high. So that means if this is the reality, where is the balanced water comes from? The balanced water is coming from Arabian Sea. So this is what the truth. So Arabian Sea supplies every year so much of water, 255 kilometer cube of water every year enters from Arabian Sea into Arabian Gulf. So if water is coming from there, it has to move. So that is what fluid mechanics. Not only water, also lot of sediments enter into the Arabian Gulf through river, also through the dust particle. So much of sediment enter into the sea. So annual water flowing from the Arabian Sea into the Arabian Gulf is this much. Annual water flowing out from the Arabian Gulf to Arabian Sea is this much. Means water is coming from the Arabian Sea into the Gulf and water is going out from the Arabian Gulf to Arabian Sea. So this is circulation. And the water coming from Arabian Sea, when it comes inside the Arabian Gulf, by the time it reaches all the places and goes back, it takes 3.5 years. Slowly they move from one place to another place. Arabian Gulf, we have to know the environmental activity. This is a lifeline for all the Arabian Gulf country. Lifeline means the Arabian Gulf, all the country here we use for shipping. We export crude oil, refined oil, gas. We export from different countries here, and we import all the other items like food items, vegetables, machineries, everything we import. So that way, Arabian Gulf is very, very active for shipping. So the ship is moving in fluid. So we have to learn about fluid mechanics even for navigating the ship properly and also designing the port and harbor structures. So they are all surrounded by fluid and a lot of force comes from ship mooring, during mooring. Arabian Gulf also is very well known for offshore drilling activity. More than 1,000 offshore platforms, they are there in the offshore of Arabian Gulf. Every country they are drilling offshore for crude oil, except Kuwait. Kuwait only started now. And all the countries, starting from Oman all the way to Kuwait, every country is spending billions and billions of dollars every year to develop infrastructure in the coast. For example, within the Arabian Gulf, you have, these are all major port within the Arabian Gulf. So in Kuwait, we have few ports, but Shuaiba port is important. Similarly, we have port in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Doha, everywhere we have port and they are very, very active. And this is the green color indicates the offshore crude oil field. So not many countries have this type of high volume crude oil. This indicates gas, natural gas, very high in Qatar, north of Qatar. Under the sea, they have so much of storage of gas. So here, these are all oil field in the offshore. That is the reason everywhere in the Arabian Gulf, if you fly by an aeroplane over the Arabian Gulf, you will see everywhere, you will see offshore drilling platform. With respect to this, Why fluid mechanics is required? These offshore platform you have to design for the forces from the surrounding water, force from wave, force from current. So you have to know all those things to design them as a civil engineer. You see, all the countries in Arabian Gulf, they, as I told you, they put lot of money developing infrastructure. You see here, this is Dubai. Dubai, they developed a civil engineering structure like this, like Palm, like World. These are all civil engineering work, but then you have to know fluid dynamics to design them properly. If we do not know fluid dynamics, we cannot design them successfully. So we have to learn fluid mechanics very thoroughly to design such type of structure. This is in Dubai. When you come to Qatar, this is like this. They design lot of offshore, like this type of things in Bahrain. When you come to Kuwait, lot of our infrastructure on the coast, many of them are there. Not only that, I will show you some of the thing in Kuwait later. So you see, to design this type of structure, you need to learn fluid mechanics thoroughly. In Kuwait, we have city, Sabah Al Ahmad city, developed last 15 years with the 200 kilometers of coast, artificial coast. Here again, the fluid from here, water moves in, goes out, moves in, goes out. When it is moving in, it will take some sediments inside, sediments will settle. When sediments are settling, you have to plan to remove them by dredging. And when a lot of people live here, the water here, water quality will reduce. If the water from the sea, if it is not cleaning by nature, the water quality will reduce. So you have to use the fluid mechanics principle, how to keep the water clean. So that is where fluid mechanics is applicable. Now some of the natural challenges in Arabian Gulf. As I know, natural challenge, we are surrounded by very dense population, very dense. One of the highest density population on the earth is in the Arabian Gulf country. Population in the coast, every year it is increasing. Another important thing is the seawater temperature here in Arabian Gulf varies from 10 to 36 degrees centigrade in a year. Not many countries have this much of seawater variation. So this is another important thing. The fluid temperature is varying from 10 to 36 degree, because the temperature also, fluid temperature also one of the phenomena on its viscosity and its design of pipeline. For all those things, we have to know how much is the temperature varying. Another important thing, the water here in Arabian Gulf at Kuwait, the salt content also is very, very high, 30 to 50 parts per thousand. Why we have to know as an engineer? Higher the salinity, higher is the density. It is difficult to push denser fluid in pipe. You need powerful pumps. That is one. Another thing is high salinity means easy corrosion. As an engineer, you have to know this. So you have to design pipeline for seawater intake. When we take seawater for power plant in Kuwait or desalination plant, if you are designing these pipeline, you have to design for high salinity induced corrosion. Another natural challenge, the fresh water flowing into the sea is reducing every year. The only fresh water we know is in Tigris-Euphrates River. That freshwater flow also is reducing. Every year it is reducing. Rainfall also is reducing every year. This you saw already 2.5 meter water evaporates. So these are all real challenge. And oil, you know, under the sea, in many places, the oil are under pressure. Oil also is a fluid with a high viscosity. So a knowledge of fluid mechanics is necessary to understand the oil seepage, natural oil seepage, like Garu Island. Around Garu, you see a lot of oil, by nature seeps, and it comes to the water. And once it comes to the surface, it moves from one place to another place. So a thorough knowledge of fluid mechanics is required to understand the movement of oil. This is the aerial photo of Kuwait. So you can see not many people here, but most of them are here on the sea coast. Lot of another natural challenge. Within the Arabian Gulf, we have possibility for earthquake, particularly on Iran side. The whole Arabian Peninsula plate sink into Iranian plate. So that is the earthquake prone zone. Iran is a prone zone for earthquake. When earthquake happens, it will induce tsunami. If tsunami happens, you will have like a dam breaking. Like that, the fluid water will move and it will impact the coastal infrastructure in Kuwait and all the country. So that is again a fluid mechanics. Sea level itself is rising slowly, sea water level. Lot of infrastructure on the coast we have today. In next 100 years, they will be completely occupied by sea water. So we have to know this and we have to design infrastructure by knowing this. Sea water also contains a lot of turbid water, turbidity. Dust storm is one of the biggest problem in this area. Dust, when it is falling into the sea, the dust contains a lot of elements and nutrients as well as toxins. They enter into the water. So the quality of water vary because of falling dust. Sometimes you see the toxins entering through the dust will accelerate seawater quality reduction. That is a thing causing fish kill. You know, in Kuwait, sometimes we see fish kill because of water quality deterioration. Like this. See, this is a satellite photo during a dust fall. When the dust travels, for example, from Iraq, Mesopotamian area, when dust travels, it's all falling like this. You know how much dust fall every year into this area? This is what the number, almost like 1/4 kilogram per 1 meter by 1 meter area, 1/4 kilogram. You know what is 1/4 kilogram, no? 250 gram. In 1 meter square, this much of dust falls. So as the dust keep on falling, finally it will go down and settle. So that means the sea bottom topography also slowly vary. Now we will see anthropogenic changes. What we do, the changes, the water consumption.
So Dr.
Yeah.
Nimani, we have Dr. like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, sure.
Yes, inshallah. Please go ahead. Take your time.
We also do a lot of changes. One is high water consumption. We consume a lot of water, something like 400 liters per day per head. All this water we take from the sea, desalinate, then we throw the saline water into the sea. These are all fluid. And see, now the fluid is moving. Sea water comes into desalination and goes back. So these are all fluid motion. So during this motion, what happens? To know that we learn fluid mechanics. And also lot of heat we pump inside the sea by cooling water from power plant. Okay, so these are all problems related to human activities, all related to fluid mechanics. Water quality is reducing. Sometimes partially treated water goes into the sea, and how they disperse, quickly it will disperse or slowly it will disperse, is a fluid mechanics problem. So only people who understand fluid mechanics, they can analyze the wastewater, how it is moving. Also solid waste, when it enters into the sea, it keeps on moving, the bottles and plastics, and it keep on moving, and it will finally it will land up in a place like Jakhara. If you go to Jakhara area, beach area, lot of these plastics, they move there. How it moves? Fluid is moving. Another thing is seabed material. In many places, they are highly toxic because of the waste disposal. Oil spill is another problem. Fish kill and red tides, another problem. Everything needs a thorough understanding of fluid mechanics. Overfishing and decrease of commercial stock, another issue. Large number of dredging activity is happening in the Arabian Gulf. And when people dredge, they use it for building islands and infrastructure surrounded by fluid. And we need to aware all these things for better development. And some of the countries are planning for nuclear power plant. We have to know fluid mechanics, as I told you. When something is leaking from the power plant into the sea, how it moves, we have to analyze fluid mechanics. The coast morphology, the physical shape of the coast itself changes with respect to time because of the mechanics and dynamics of the waves and fluids. This is inside the Arabian Gulf, the water moves like this in the northern part, also in the southern part. So this is a global movement of water inside the Arabian Gulf, and this is what happens everywhere. So we have to know this, and we have to use the knowledge of fluid dynamics to prevent all the pollutions inside the Gulf, within the boundary of the country, also globally. Another thing, important thing is the sea level rise. So, you know, the sea level by 2100, it is expected to rise by more than 1 meter. So it means if you have your beach house, so please make sure 1 meter water level rise, it is not going to affect your beach house. Finally, other challenges we need to know. There are a lot of human activities happening in Arabian Gulf, not only in Kuwait, everywhere. As an engineer, we need to apply our knowledge for sustainable use of marine resource. Sustainable, that is very important. We have to learn all the subjects, civil engineering subject, for optimized design of projects, not only land, also in marine area. There are a lot of uncertainty in the scientific knowledge. We need to innovate many things. Maybe I will close the chapter with this particular point. Within Arabian Gulf, Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research, we work for the coastal infrastructure. We applied fluid mechanics knowledge in our area. Sometimes we also extend our knowledge for the benefit of the Arabian Gulf. So this is one of our study. What is the wave height in these areas in 100 years? For example, if you see this red color point, 6 meter wave height. If somebody wanted to design offshore drilling platform, here 6 meter, whereas in Kuwait, 4 meter is sufficient. Lucky that way we are. So I will stop with this. When we know good fluid mechanics knowledge, we can do research and come up with innovation that will help building infrastructure like this beautiful infrastructure, cost competitive infrastructure easily for country like Kuwait. Thank you very much for today. I will stop here. Then the rest of the things we will cover on Sunday.